The ghost of the financial reserve banking have returned to haunt the US banking system. The recent victim behind the Silicon Valley Bank, SVB, that brought back the memories of the disastrous financial crisis of 2008. SVB is the second biggest US financial institution to have failed in history. Before analyzing the SVB failures, let's understand one fundamental change to US banking which was carried out to provide a freedom. Yes, we are talking about the fractional reserve banking. So, as the name suggests, it is a system of bank management of a holding of fractional of deposits in a deposit form while majority funds are invested or loaned out to the borrowers. The financial reserve banking is a threat of a bank run. Previously, the banks operated with the full reserves, which is actually they held 100% of the deposited funds in reserves. On March 15, 2020, the Federal Reserve abolished the reserve requirements for all depository institutions, enabling banks to lend out 100% of the deposits and guaranteeing risk-free profits. Which is, while we come back to the SVB issue, the now failed bank has approximately $209 billion in total assets and about $175.4 billion in the total deposits as on December 31st, 2022. As the US Fed resorted to a 0% interest rate regime for an extended time buying mortgage-backed securities, the next important factor to this function became the preferred investment choice, SVB Bank. The lender generated enormous funds from the startup, of which $90 billion was parked in MBS. Interesting. It is at this point the Fed looked to turn 0% interest rate trajectory, and it started hiking interest rates, which resulted in MSB yields much lower rate than the market rates. SVB was sitting at a notional loss of over $15 billion to $90 billion investments. And since startup funding slowed down, deposits grew to stumble, and which is aimed amid slow inflows, the SVB started feeling the pinch from the fund withdrawals. With a large number of depositors simultaneously demanding their deposits back, the banks suffered from the liquidity crunch. The fear of contagion was more evident than the previous though several startups started demanding deposits money back. Circle's deposit, which stood at $3.3 billion with SVB, and some other holdings deposits with SVB are BlockFi, Circle, Pantera, Avalanche, Yuga Labs, Proof, Nova Labs, to name few. The tech lenders' collapse have left several startups and tech firms in the US globally and also in India who have exposure to the SVB's investment, which is actually worrying the entire global fraternity. As a percentage data of the market intelligence platform Traxon, SVB had exposure in at least 21 startups in India. The size of investments and the exact details of the startups which are not mentioned yet, but SVB was a bank to over 2,500 venture capitalist firms, which included the likes of Lightspeed, Bain Capital, and Insight Partners, as per the New York Times. The SVB also managed the personal wealth of several tech executives. The California regulator, which shut down SVB, has said that the insured depositors will have full access to their insured deposits no later than Monday, March 13, 2023. Deposits of up to $250,000 were insured by the regulator, and beyond that, customers will receive no information on when they will regain access to their money. The regulators have put SVB under the control of US Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, which is FDIC. It is acting as a receiver. This typically means that it will liquidate SVB's assets to pay back its customers, including depositors and creditors. That's all there is in this special story. Keep watching Cryptoberg TV for more such interesting updates on the SVB issue. Thank you.